What's going on, guys? This is going to be a 5-lap league race. I just joined this random league on Leagues. It's nothing too big, but it's going to be a 5-lapper. Quite the exciting one in my opinion out of everything, honestly. Here I'm setting up my setup, obviously. You guys can see. I actually saved the one I have now because the other one was not correct. Okay, the 5 lights are going up. They're gone now. Okay, we get a pretty decent start, enough. We get slipstream down to turn 1, which is probably enough. I realized the person P1 is actually an AI. He goes to the side of me. I'm able to take the lead through the first corner and keep that lead for most of this Grand Prix, I think, if I remember this properly. It's quite crazy. There's a lot of action near the end as well, but yeah, from now on there should be daily Formula 1 content being posted to my YouTube, so it's also awesome. You can see my F1 esports gloves there. I should put on my helmet one of these days. I wish they had an F1 esports suit for this game. Hopefully that is in 22 though. I always win again, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm having a couple issues recording long periods of time, so when I do pause the game, that's me checking if I'm still recording or not, because it's very weird like that. It's like 3 to 4 minutes. I upped it so it's 720p instead of 1080p, but I'll just up it in my editing software. It's not a big deal, but it's quite annoying actually, because it's like I have to keep pausing the game to see if I'm still recording for all the footage, because sometimes it'll cut out. So yeah, so we're finishing the first lap here. We have a 3.4 second lead on P2, and we set the fastest lap at 1:35. Quite slow actually, not that impressive. I can probably set a 25, but we're going on turn 1, 2, 3, and we are able to build a gap that's almost 4 seconds. Kind of crazy. When I pause, sometimes I do cut it out here in this video, so that's also a thing. So if it just cuts out and then comes back, that's why. Setting a purple first sector. Actually going wide and almost dying there. That was quite sketchy for me, honestly. I was very, very scared of spinning into the wall on the left on the exit of that corner. It's really hard to recover that, and it would be a recovery race if I did spin there. Okay, pausing again, going back. Will I set a purple second sector? We will see in a moment if I do end up setting that purple second sector. Let's see, do I end up setting... I set a green second sector. What third sector will I get? I'm going to say green probably, since here I do pause quite a bit actually. Slowing me down, horrible exit on the corner. Someone does leave the lobby, which will grant them a penalty. I get fastest lap, a 29.3 it looks like there, and it will be a green third sector actually. 5-second gap to P2. If we manage to keep this gap to the guy behind us, we'll be able to actually maintain the lead the entire race and win off the start, which is kind of crazy. It's gonna be difficult to do because I make mistakes sometimes when I'm driving. Everyone does. But you know, it's fine. We'll try to hold this gap, make sure everything's going well. Hopefully I can limit the amount of issues I have this last lap, or in the last 2 laps, my bad. Trying to save some ERS because I'm very low, under 10%, which is horrible. I also have built a 6-second gap to P2, gap behind, as we do end up going 1.5 slower, setting a purple third sector in lap 3, going down to turn 1 for the 4th time this race. Take it like every other time, perfect, no issue at all. Getting off that curb on turn 2 is a little bit iffy, a little bit sketchy. It's all good though. I have no more ERS at all. I'm completely out basically. I'm running on fumes. I have to figure out how to maintain ERS and pace without making too many mistakes. under braking. It's going to be hard as we set a red first sector. Going into the second sector, we'll see what we will get soon going down to the back straight. Honestly, I have no clue how this might go, but it's going to be fun to race. If I can build a big enough gap to the guy behind, I'm going to try to go into the pit lane before the finish line. I'm going to finish in the pits. I'm going to be toxic like that because I'm me. But we will see what happens soon. By the end of the street, we will have 1% ERS, 2%, and you'll definitely run up at the end of the straight here. Going into the 5th lap is all red sectors. Going down to turn 1 for the 5th time in this Grand Prix. Let's see. Oh, I go deep. That's my first mistake this whole Grand Prix, really. I go deep turn 1, losing some pace to the gap behind. In P2, 8-second gap, 0.3. Let's see if we can maintain that gap. If we can or extend it, I'm going to end up actually pinning at the end of this lap. The curbs almost caught me a couple times, those two. Car keeps getting lifted and like almost spinning. It's quite not ideal to maintain this pace. It's really sketchy, but it's fine. If we win this race, we'll get 25 plus the additional fastest lap point, which will make sure we get championship lead and 26 points, which is all we need to try to maintain the lead of the Drivers' World Championship. As we set a purple middle sector, improving our lap time by 37 thousandths. Let's see. So here I will be going into the pit lane to do my toxic strategy, since I do in fact have enough time. Into the pit lane we go. Got a penalty, not a big deal. That's all I got for y'all today. Post it tomorrow. Also, don't forget to follow my socials up on the screen for more content and news on my socials.